everyone. Welcome back to Here with me today. Thanks for being here. You're great. Today we're going to talk about why the diatonic chords in a key are the way that they are. You know what I mean? Let me explain. So you know how in a major key, your diatonic chord formula is major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished? I'll tell you why that is right now. Well, I'm, in a few seconds, I gotta start. So to make our chords in a key, we first have to line up our notes of that key back to back. And then we could build chords off of each one of these notes. And so let's do an example here. Let's find the chords of the first two notes, okay? So we start on C, so that's our first degree of the chord, right? Then to find our next note, we have to move up in thirds. So C, D, E, that is our third degree of our chord because it's the third note. And to find our next note, we have to move up another third. So E, F, G. So G is your fifth degree in the chord because it is the fifth note. So our chord built off of the C note is made up of the notes C, E, and G. And now to find our two chord, we have to start on our second note, right? So that's going to be the D note. And since we're starting on the D note, we're going to make the D note kind of our temporary first degree. So we're starting on D, that's going to be our first degree, right, of our chord. Then move up in thirds. D, E, F, that is our third degree, right? Then to find our next note, we're going to move up a third again. F, G, A. So A is our fifth degree of the D chord. Oh, by the way, we're in the key of C major. I don't know if I mentioned that. Well, maybe you guessed. So now, if we look at our diatonic chord formula, right, in our major key, the one chord should be a major chord, and the two chord should be a minor. So if we dissect our two chords that we have built together, we can see if that is true. It's going to be true. We'll see if it's true. So a C major chord is made up of a C note, E note, and G note. And if we look at our chord that we built, we use the notes C, E, and G, right? So, cool. First chord is, in fact, a major chord. And now a D major chord would be made up of a D note, F sharp, and A note. And if we look at our chord that we built together, we see that we got the notes D, F, and A. Look what we have here. We have a flattened third degree. And what makes a minor chord? A major chord with a flattened third degree. So a chord that is made up of a D note, F, and A note is in fact a minor chord. And the same thing works for every single other diatonic chord in a key. That's why your chords are major, minor, or diminished. So really all you have to do is compare your chord to that chord's major chord version and see which chord formula is applied. And then you're gonna know which chord type it is. You know what I mean? So that's it, guys. That is diatonic chords and why they are the way that they are, That's all. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. And I'll see you soon. Toodles.